for joining us right here on the Morning Express as we continue with more news and updates. But at this point, I get to be joined by my special feature for the day, knowing that matric results are out and the IUB released their own results yesterday, and they're also coming out today, really taking a look at the percentage of the pass rates, taking a look at our public schools coming out on the 22nd of February. But at this point, I get to be joined by the man that is going to help me really dissect and evolve the entire career in artistry, in the entertainment industry, and I'm talking about the one, the only, Pretoria born and bred. Everything was done in Pretoria. He's an actor, he's a writer, he's a poet, he's a choreographer, model, narrator, all things under the sun, and I'm talking about the one, the only, Tiego. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining me, Tiego.
Oh, thank you for having me here.
Quite a pleasure, man. And we're playing around with your name. There's Tiego and there's Tiego.
There's Tiego.
Ah, interesting. Quite a great twist to that. But I mean, you are joining me today here because of our young people, the youth of South Africa, taking a look into the career, the longevity of the 18 years that you've spent in the industry, and really trying to help them out to maneuver and find their way within the industry. But take me through your inception, knowing that you're from a musically born and bred, from your mom to your dad, everyone was within entertainment. So how's that journey for you?
I could say the journey for me has been interesting, though, because I've always been a person who strives for excellence. You know, I always push for what I do. So it's that thing where I didn't need a lot of favors from my family. They actually saw me pushing for a lot of things, striving for a lot of things. Like, for example, I hardly asked for money when I was in high school to go to my gigs or for costumes. I always made sure that I would save up my pocket money or even walk to school instead of catching a cab to school, so I can actually save up money to go to gigs. So when they started seeing such things where, you know, I entered for competitions like South Africa's Got Talent, you know, also started traveling abroad, getting a lot of sponsors like Soviet following my brand and everything. That's when my family started taking what I'm doing seriously.
Interesting. But where does the passion come from? I mean, you're very passionate about the work that you do, from the essence of how you speak and the energy that even when you walked into studio, there was like it exuded throughout this entire studio. But take me through where you realized that this is what I'm passionate about, this is my calling, this is what I'm to be doing for the rest of my life.
Well, with me, I was a very inquisitive kid, and I involved in everything, extramural activities, whether it be sports or arts. But I realized that I was excelling a lot when it comes to art stuff, when it comes to painting, singing, drawing, even the way I used to visualize things, because a lot of assignments I would do maybe in school, then my lecturers would be like, this doesn't even look like a school child's assignment. This painting you just did here looks crazy. Even the mindset I would have when I'm writing my essays, you know, the writing and stuff, they'd be like, are you fine? Like, what happened here? I was like, no guys, just come up with the whole story. They're like, but that sounds too real. I'm like, no, that's how I, you know,
narrating your own stories of the world. And I get that is why you being a narrator is so important. But to a young person, a South African born and bred child throughout our different townships in the urban areas, taking a look even on our African continent, how do you then have to have this conversation with their parent? How do you think they should go about saying that the arts is something? It's a career, it's a passion. Not only just we are not just gigging, but it's something that you do that you love, that brings you happiness, that brings you the kind of joy that allows you to just live a very fruitful and meaningful life. What do you say to them? How should they go about that conversation?
Well, usually what I would tell people is that it's not about the glam, it's not about the, what do you call it, the fame. If you want to chase that, just leave it. That's what I'm going to tell you, because a lot of people, it doesn't work like that. It's about, you know, work. I tell people that look at, as an artist, look at the industry with a business mind, like collaborate with other people. For example, I tell people, you're an artist, you're a brand, you're going to a platform like a TV interview or something. I'm like, there are a lot of upcoming brands out there, you know, designers and stuff. Why don't you collaborate with them in your neighborhood and stuff, and actually try to promote them into the platform that you're being exposed to. That way you can actually grow your brand as well, and also improve people in your community, because I feel like that also, you know, helps a person grow. Where you come from, if the people are supporting what you're doing, you have a strong background and everything.
Oh wow, man. I think there's so much to be mentioned with you, your artistry, all that you do. Mention where you've traveled, what you've been doing abroad, the kind of projects that you've really been able and been afforded the opportunity to work with.
Okay, my first international travel was 2013 when I went to Scotland, Glasgow. That was amazing because it was for UDO, United Dance Organizations. Then it was nice because I made it to the top 50 when I was competing, and I got to learn other languages. I got to meet other people, which I'm still in contact with on social media. Because now I realize that the people who actually follow my social media accounts, even my YouTube channel, the views and everything, actually the people I've met abroad. So they actually still, you know,
still in contact and in conversation with you and
with everything that I do,
with the content that you're doing. But I mean, also moving forward within the arts, how did you know then that was it? Aside from a family that was really within the entertainment space, how did you know as a young man in South Africa that, you know what, this is for me? The arts is that. The entertainment industry is exactly what I want to do.
Well, at first I used to be in denial with it, because that thing where, you know, also being, as I said, a very active student.
Yes.
I remember one teacher once told me, actually this was a serious conversation, because it was a day where I think I was an outstanding student for a certain subject in school, so they made me stand in front of the whole class. And she actually asked me, like, what do you want to become when you grow up?
Oh, wow.
And I told her, I want to become an artist. And she told me that's a waste of brains for you, for someone like you. So that actually hurt my feelings, because, you know, I was so passionate about this thing.
Yes.
So I felt a bit demotivated by that. So I started focusing a lot on other things. But I realized that as much as I grew, and all the people I met, even the teachers I met in high school, they were like, you're an artist. Whatever you try to do, everything you do is art. So they're like, we see you try to do all these other things, but actually, when you actually focusing on art, you glow. When it comes to art, you glow better than any other thing. So they're like, you're an artist, in and out. You can't run away from that.
Sure, there's a lot to mention with you. I mean, I too have been told those kind of words at some point in high school, but I mean, we also move away from that. But take me through all things that you're doing at this point. What can people expect from you? I mean, COVID-19, how did that affect you on its own?
Well, COVID-19 actually taught me some things, I could tell, and it taught me to be wise and to think outside of the box. Because now there's a song I released called Canvas. What I like about Canvas, it talks about, you know, painting your world, however you can as a person, and see what you can do. So I started a challenge online last year where there was Freddy Groover. He's a bassist, and I told him, hey bro, can you play this song on a video and try to promote it on social media? So it happened that he played it on a video, then I started promoting it. So when it happened that a lot of people started catching on, so people were actually promoting their own businesses using my song Canvas. Because I told them, if you can bake, take a video of yourself baking, then I will share it on my socials. Then if someone can do makeup, take a video of yourself doing that.
And just use it as a soundtrack, like
exactly,
the backing track.
But I'm also promoting your business. So I told them the nice thing about it was that while the video was playing, there was actually your Instagram handle or your
contact
brand
details.
Also there on that video, then also the name of the song and the artist. So it was promoting my song, but also promoting you. So now the catch on that was that now when you post it online, you have to have certain hashtags. Then when you find a video with those same hashtags, you have to retweet it. That way you're also actually all promoting each other.
Oh,
so I feel like it was a good initiative, and it got the song exposed to a lot of people, and a lot of people actually liking it and enjoying it. Even my family likes it. So
certainly. But what does the song talk about?
So interesting enough, the song was a freestyle. Okay. Because I got into studio, then my friend was like, had a studio, his name is Frank Jenkins. So I saw he had a mic, so I was excited. I was like, oh bro, you have a mic. Yeah. Like, this is crazy. So I got there, I started singing on the mic, and I didn't know that this guy was actually recording me.
Oh wow.
So I was busy freestyling, going, paint me now. So I didn't know this guy was actually recording me until when I went home later that night. Keso, the producer, he sent me the song, like bam, on WhatsApp. I was like, who's this? He's like, no, that's you today, Earlier. I was like, whoa, what? Then I started listening to it, then a lot of people started catching it on. They were like, when are you releasing it? And finally I released it, and a lot of people actually, I got a positive
response from that. Yeah. And here you are on my show, really about the work that you're doing. But I mean, take me through matriculants. What do you say to matriculants that are going to be receiving the results that have from the IEB, and those that are going to be receiving it on the 22nd of February? What do you say to those young people that are anxiously waiting at home, really waiting for that SMS, for them to go to the garages if possible, and just find that result, to find that newspaper and rejoice? And others, unfortunately, it will be sad news. They might not have met the target that they had in the beginning of the year 2020. But what do you say to them?
Carry on. I tell them, whatever happens, whatever the outcome you have, carry on with, you know, what you believe in. Because I told people, nothing can stop you. Everything, I don't believe in failures, I believe in lessons. If it's a failure, it's a lesson. If you actually passed, that's amazing. I'm happy for you. But trust me, now it gets you, welcome to the real world.
Yes.
Because I feel like, you know, as much as we go to school, school doesn't prepare us for the real world. A lot of people, you know, they can't handle the transition into, you know, now being independent. Because a lot of people would think that actually varsity would be the one that's driving you crazy, but you realize that actually living alone and looking after yourself, that's what would actually, because I realized when I went to varsity that you know, such things I didn't notice. Like, for example, buying soap to bath was actually expensive.
Quite important.
Like, even like toilet paper, all such things. I was like, wait, those things, they actually cost me a lot of money, because most of my budget was going towards toothpaste, those kind of stuff. I was like, some things that I never noticed, even buying groceries. That's when you start to realize how, you know,
independence is quite important.
Yeah,
being responsible for that. But I mean, in closing, what other projects can people expect from you?
Oh, I'm working on my EP. That's amazing. It's called African Helium, and it's nice because now I started working with a band.
Oh, wow.
It's an African jazz band, so now the band, like, it's an infusion of my sound and their sound, crazy things going on, and
the aesthetic of that is going to be greatly pleasing
right,
to that.
I'm excited for that. But for people to actually catch up on what I'm doing, check out my YouTube channel. It's called Tiego Buzz and Updates. Tiego as in Tiego, then Buzz. Then you guys can subscribe. You can follow my journey from all the TV commercials I've done and all that.
Definitely. Quite interesting, but I think there's a lot to be said about you. Interesting young man, but even with the work that you do, traveling abroad, doing the things that you've done, what are your key highlights? One things that have stood out throughout your 18 years of career in 30 seconds.
Well, being on South Africa's Got Talent, that was amazing. Sharing the same stage as K9 for the 2010 FIFA Fan Fest, that was amazing.
Well, can't wait to really receive more music, more artistry from you, Tiego. It's been an absolute pleasure to converse and engage with you today.
Thank you.
Certainly. Thank you very much
for having me.
Well,